Hey up, mate, you alright? Right, so what I'm going to do is insert a MIDI track, which is Command Shift and T or Control Shift T if you're using a PC. I don't actually know what you use, so assuming that you're using a Mac, what we're going to do, there's a few ways to do it. I'll show you the way that I do it, which is inserting a drum rack, and then that's not your middle C, that's the octave lower. So if we go to middle C, which is C3 on your piano, which is it's like your dead center sort of C. Most stuff I do, I write it either in C or A, and then I transition it so that we can fit if it don't fit in key. I only write it in C and A because it's just, for me, the two easiest keys that I can use. So Command F, type the word kick. So we'll go with that kick. It doesn't really matter because all I'm trying to do here today is show you how to layer up, pardon me, and get a drum loop going without using loops, sort of thing. So if we do spinning, so this one, I use this one quite often. I think most producers do, to be fair. And clap 808. Another one of those sort of everybody uses it sort of things. So what we've got now is on the C, we've got the kick. On the C sharp, we've got the hat, and on the D, we've got the clap. So if we to play it all together, you'd get something like this. Now, that is essentially your basic sort of. We could start with that, and then we could build it up from there. So if you want to draw it in, it's a lot of people find it easier to draw it in. So highlight the area that you want a MIDI file. Command Shift and M, and that inserts a MIDI file. So now you'll see, if we highlight that headphones there, so now when I play them in, draw them in, sorry, double click, double click, double click, and double click there, and then Command and D, as you can see, it's going all the way across. So Command and A, which highlights them all like that, Command Shift and U, and then we're going to quantize it to 16ths. It were already fine as it was, but it's just showing you how to quantize. So we're going to speed this up to 124, which is up here. And then on the offbeat, so the easiest way to do this is Command and A, holding down Option, just drag that up and put it there. So it's on the offbeat. So you've got the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and it's on the and. And then on the 2 and the 4 of every bar, we're going to put a clap. This is dead simple, straight 4 to the floor. So now we've got this. Which I think you'll agree is the most sort of standard house sort of style. I'm not going to go into EQing on this one, mate. I just want you to understand that is how I layer up drums using a drum rack. Pardon me, I'm full of cold. Right, so if we go on to loop now, which is Command and F, go straight to your all results, find all results. So now we could go to loop, and what we're looking for is if I loop drum, no kick. That reminds me of Everybody Dance Now. So perk loop, type that. So we'll go with that one. It's dead simple. It's nice, straight 4 to the floor again. So I just want to turn these volumes down because I don't know what they're like out loud, but they're in my ears and it's really, really loud. As I said to you, I've got literally a MIDI keyboard. I've got one hard drive plugged in just to show you, because normally I'd have my other two. They've got a lot more samples on. I do use Splice as well. and I've got my lapel mic plugged in and my charger plugged into the back of the mic, and then the video recording is just coming straight from my Mac screen, and I've got one light down there just to light me up, I guess. So right, so for sound quality, we're going to drop this down so we can't really hear it, and we're going to play it. This is a loop, right? So that's your loop button there. So it's going to loop those 4 bars. So, and then what we're going to do is we're going to bring the volume up on the jury loop that I've put in. Now, just for to keep it simple, this is how I do my mix down. So, put a utility, which is in audio effects utility, straight down onto your master channel, and then bring the width into 0%. Excuse me. And what that does is it brings it from stereo straight into mono, which in turn helps you can hear. What happens is when it's in stereo, if you've got any effects on in stereo, what it can do is it can sort of alter your field of depth, if you know what I mean. So you might be hearing something that goes like bam, 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 but it's wide, but you think, oh, it's really, really loud, it mixes that. But then when you bring it into mono, you think, fuck me, I can't hardly hear that. So your mono is your truer sound. All the speakers play mono, only your stereo sounds come out of obviously a stereo system. So we're gonna mix it in mono now. So I'm happy with where the loop's sat in terms of our drums. What I'm not happy with is the kick. So if we highlight that and that, the kick's just sat too far back in the mix. So if we drop these down by -8, what we should notice now is I'll drop this down by another -4, so we'll do it to -20. So what we should notice now is that kick, it should be really loud in the mix, which is definitely more there. I'm happy with where they're sat at the moment. I think the loop's just a little bit too loud now. So if we do -24 on that loop, which will account for the -8 on the others, if that makes sense to you. I can't hear anything wrong with that. If you want to get a bit like technical with it, I use a plugin called Kickstart, which I'm not going to be using this for much longer because there's another plugin out now. It just costs a bit of money. Looking at my wife as I'm saying that. Costs a little bit of money, so I'm going to save up for it and then I'm going to get that plugin. So what this does basically is it side chains. So for every kick, you can have it set to quarters, eighths, halves, or full bar. And what it does is every time you play it, so it'll go like that. So you've seen me do it with Mixer at work when I cut it down when it kicks playing. Same thing, just does it for you. So if you listen, I'll bring the volume up as I'm doing it. So you can hear it cutting out on that first kick. But what you can also do is you can select different sort of attacks and releases. So if we go into a classic chain, you can see that waveform change then. So, but for me, what that's doing is it's cutting out too much of the loop. So I'm going to go with tighter. And then listen to it together. I'm happy with that. So now, just quickly, while I've got here, we'll put Serum on. I highly recommend Serum. Highly recommend Serum, and I've got a load of fucking additional packages that come with it. That don't come with it, but I've got loads like Big Z's. There's literally loads and loads. These are all what I've sort of downloaded through Splice. So if we go to Neon Funk, alright, okay, so if Neon Funk and Disco, these are ones that I've downloaded myself through Splice. So I think we'll try Jack Funk bass first. So yeah, it's not really what I'm looking for. So if we go back onto it, I think it's the next one down. So Splice. There we are. And then Neon Funk and Disco, and just try and keep it on there. Oh, Neon Funk and Disco. Sunset Live Bass. That's just me playing keyboard. Obviously, you can get MIDI packs and stuff that help you write bass lines. In fact, I've done some with Ben Rainey and Blandy, Dancing Divas, which I've got. Don't buy them, I've got them, you can have them. So I'm just going to bring this bass down now. So we're still in mono. If you remember, we put that utility on the master channel. So we're still in mono. So obviously we haven't EQ'd the kick, we haven't EQ'd the hats, the loop, anything yet. This is just raw sound. So that's a bass line I just wrote off the cuff there. So we're going to bang it in, and then we'll just go from there. So that's the bass line I've got. Command and J consolidates it, so we've got two perfect bars there. And then Command and A, Command Shift and U, and then quantize it, so we're back on, so it's perfectly in time there. So we've got, I just Command and D'd it, duplicated it. So if you listen now to the bass line, I want this note to be slightly longer. And that one. And that one. No. That's spot on, is that? So Command and D, which should duplicate that. So Command and J now on all of that. So now you've got 4 bars of a perfectly good bass line. I'm going to bring that to -18 because the 0.3 is giving me anxiety. So now we've got this. To keep things sort of tight, the kickstart that we put onto the loop, Command and C, and then put it onto the bass line, Command and V. So this bit here is what it's cutting out. So you can't, well, it's not, it's 50%, so it's not completely cut out. And all that does is it allows more room in the EQ range for the kick to power through, because obviously this is dance music and it's all about the kick and the bass. So it's just a funky house, like. And then if we take that utility off, you'll notice a sound difference straight away. And as I said to you before, I write things in the key of C, which is your root note there. But you can change the key by Command and A, highlighting the lot, and then with your arrow up and down, put it into F below the C that we wrote it in. That's got so much more potential. The bass sits nicer in the mix there. So I'm going to leave you with this video. If you want any help with plugins and stuff or advice, just send me a text and I'll see what I can do. Have a good one. See you at the weekend, mate.